Okay, welcome to my video on Math Made Easy with Terry in 10 minutes. All right. Here we're going to be talking about functions of a linear function of x. Okay. Here, unlike standard derivatives, here x is going to be replaced with a linear function, and how you integrate it is different from how we've done in the previous video. So remember, sorry, in the previous video, if we have something like x raised to power what? 7, okay? And x is power 3, and you are told to integrate this, for instance, okay? You would have said it's going to be x 3 plus 1 divided by 3 plus 1 plus c, and that will give you x raised to power 4 divided by 4 plus c. That will be the answer. But what about if this is replaced with a linear function, okay? So that means we are told to now integrate, instead of x, we are told to introduce something like 2x minus 7 raised to power 3. You can't apply this rule that you did in the previous here. You need to do something a little bit extra. It's very simple, okay? All right, so personally, I came up with 5 steps that you need to know when you have a linear function. So you have 5 steps that you need to know, okay? So there are 5 steps that you need to know, just 5 simple steps. So if you can take note of these simple steps, it's going to make more sense to you, all right? So there'll be 5 simple steps that you need to do to solve linear function, okay? So if you have a notebook, you can keep it down because we're going to use this in the next video when we talk about the examples, okay? So the first thing, function with a letter. So you can call the letter anything. Let's say in this video, let me call it Q, all right? So I will replace the linear function with the letter Q. And when I do that, I'm going to add dx over dq to the question. Okay, so the first thing, I replace it. The second thing that I do, just separately and find the x over dq. So I will now differentiate, okay? I'll differentiate the linear function. So I'll differentiate the linear function separately, okay? I'll differentiate the linear function separately and find dx over what? dq. Can you see? So that means this dx over dq, I'm going to find it after differentiating the linear function. Then, number 3, I will now replace all the variables to the equation. So I'm going to replace all the variables to the equation. Is this making sense? So first thing, I replace the linear function with a letter. I can pick any letter. I can use U, I can use Q. It does not really matter. Then after that, and I'll now add a dx to q, dq to it. So technically, nothing changes because dq cancel out and that is dx, okay? But don't worry, don't bother yourself about it. I'm going to pick an example and we're going to solve it together. And you'll see that these 5 simple steps will make more sense to you, all right? Then when you've done that, you now differentiate the linear function to find this dx over dq. Then when you're done, you replace all the variables to the equation. Then the fourth one is then you have to do is that you then integrate. Okay? You then integrate and add c. Then finally, what you do? You now replace the letter with the linear function. Then you now what? Replace the letter with the linear function. And that's how you what? That's how you what? Integrate functions of a linear function. Easy. First thing, you replace the linear function with the letter. When you're done, you now differentiate. You now add the dx to q to it. Then you differentiate the linear function separately, and you now find dx over dq, okay? When you're done, you replace all the variables to the equation, you now integrate, and you add c, and you now replace the letter with a linear function, okay? So because of time, remember I always say I'm going to do everything in 10 minutes, okay? So this video, I'm just going to talk about the 5 simple steps. So what I want you to do, I want you to make a note of it if you're studying at home, or you're on the tram, or on the train, on the bus. Just take a picture of this, take a screenshot, okay, of this 5 steps. So because the next video I'm going to do now, we're going to now solve this question now. All right, we're going to solve this question. I'm going to add maybe 1 or 2 to that. Then we're going to solve one more question on that. Then after that, we'll now start seeing how to more complicated question with trig. But regardless if it's a trig or any form the question is going to come in, or the question on the integration is going to come in, the first thing, these are the 5 steps. You replace the linear function with a letter, and you add the x, the q to it. Next thing, you differentiate the linear function separately, and you find the x over the q. The third thing, you replace all the variables to the equation. And the fourth, you integrate and add c. And finally, you replace the letter with the linear function, okay? All right, so I'm going to see you in the next video. What we're going to talk about, we're going to solve this question, 2x minus 7 raised to power 3, and we're integrating that, okay? Like I said, don't forget to like and subscribe, and also share with your friends. If you have any question, please put it in the comment section, and I'm willing and I'm more happy to help you, all right? So I'll see you soon.